Newsfirst at 9. Headlines.
A very good evening and welcome to Weekend Primetime News here on MTV Sports and Shakti TV. I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Vessels carrying Sri Lankan asylum seekers in distress off the coast of Christmas Island. Annual bus fare revision will not be granted, a statement by the subject minister. Bus associations expressed various views. And construction work on the Kalamati Fisheries Harbour commences following a Newsfirst come at the revelation. Well, on to our top story tonight. Australian media has reported on a group of passengers who claim to be Sri Lankan refugees that are on board a leaking vessel nearly 250 kilometers off the coast of Christmas Island. However, Australian Immigration Minister Scott Morrison has refused to confirm that a vessel carrying asylum seekers is in distress off the coast of Christmas Island.
The vessel carrying 153 asylum seekers had departed Pondicherry on the 13th of June. Passengers on board the vessel are believed to be Sri Lankan refugees who sought refuge in South India. According to Australian media reports, there are 37 children and 32 women on board the 72-foot-long blue-hulled fishing boat. Media reports also noted that the vessel had sprung an oil leak around 250 kilometers away from Christmas Island.
Women 32 and we have 37 children. 250 kilometers far from Christmas Island. We are refugees. Already we came from Sri Lanka and we stayed in India. But we hope that we are coming, madam. And the other thing, madam, the right now it's heavily raining also. We didn't get any help from anywhere. And the wind also increased in high speed. And huge waves are in the ocean. The children and infants also inside the boat. We can see some boat like ship lights also. Maybe it is fishing boat or maybe we don't know.
No vessel carrying asylum seekers has successfully reached Australian shores since the 19th of December 2013. The boat will likely pose a major challenge to the Australian government's turn-back policy as it had not departed from Indonesia. Earlier vessels carrying illegal migrants that departed from Indonesia for Christmas Island were towed back to Indonesia by Australian authorities. Australian Immigration Minister Scott Morrison, commenting on the issue, has stated that there had been no significant events involving extreme risk of safety for life at sea. Australian Premier Tony Abbott reacted to these reports in this manner.
Well, we will be doing what we normally do in respect of Operation Sovereign Borders. Which is what?
Meanwhile, Australian Greens immigration spokeswoman Sarah Hanson-Young says that the government must take steps to help the asylum seekers get to shore safely.
The people on board are saying they've come directly from India, not from Indonesia, and pushing them back to India would create a whole new diplomatic row. The only option, as I see it, is that the government should bring their people aboard to Christmas Island and allow them to put forward a claim for protection. And I'm very concerned about the number of people overall. It's a big number of people to have on a boat. It makes the journey even more risky. But the large number of children is very concerning, and it's one of the reasons why the government can't delay in acting to find the boat, rescue the people and bring them ashore.
The administration of Prime Minister Tony Abbott has taken numerous steps to prevent illegal migrants from entering Australia. Sri Lanka received 2 Bay-class patrol ships as part of this effort to curb illegal migrants from taking the risky journey to Christmas Island via sea.
Newsfirst, of course, will keep a watch on this developing situation and bring you the latest on these asylum seekers. Now, will there be an increase in bus fares in the coming days? This has been a topic that has been in circulation among the general public over the past few days. Katrina Chang joins us now from Colombo Fort with an in-depth analysis into this topic. Katrina, over to you.
About the revision of bus fares, and the Sri Lanka Private Bus Owners Federation notes that a revision of bus fares is necessary in line with national policy. However, the Private Bus Owners Association as well as the subject minister are of the opinion that a revision in bus fare is unnecessary. Newsfirst inquired into this matter.
According to the National Transport Policy, a revision of bus fares is possible after the 1st of July. The policy states that a bus fare revision could take place after the consideration of 12 factors. The costs incurred monthly and annually have increased exponentially. Prices of revenue licenses, route permits, log licenses, oil, tires and tubes, spare parts have also risen. How can we not wait without revising bus fares? If the government does not take steps to revise bus fares, then we will take stern action. We are not aiming for a revision in bus fares right now. If we calculate the cost involved, we could go for a 4% increase in bus fares. However, because of these price revisions, more passengers are moving away from us. There is a tendency where nearly 1,500 commuters move away from the bus service on a daily basis. We cannot increase the prices, but we cannot survive without doing it either. We have faith that we will receive the bus fare revision that is due on the 1st of July. Although the prices of fuel have not increased, the cost of maintaining our buses have increased. If the National Transport Commission takes steps to provide what is due to us, then it will be a great service to the industry.
When bus fares increase, people will move away from the bus service. It is better to provide them with some other relief measure and let them carry on with their service. Keeping bus fares at a certain level but reducing the cost of fuel is a good idea. Else they also need to increase our salaries. We do not like the idea of bus fares increasing. People find it difficult to survive. The best option is to provide some relief. If prices are increased, we will not be able to make money or even operate the buses. If they increase prices of fuel and bus fares together, then it is difficult for both us as well as the commuters. Reducing the fuel prices would be good for the general public as well as the service. An increase in bus fares will be an issue for the passengers. If bus fares are increased, we will lose our existing passengers as well.
A bus fare revision is due for the 15th of July. This will only be possible after we consider 12 factors. The ministry is bound to fulfill the aspiration of the general public, and we also need to ensure that this bus service is protected. That is why 12 factors need to be considered. Based on these factors, an increase in bus fares will not take place. This needs to be stated very clearly.
බස් ගාස්තුවක් වැඩි කිරීමට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැහැ මේ නිර්ණායකයන් හේතු කොටගෙන මේක ගැන පැහැදිලිව ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න ඕනේ.
Well, the two opposing views of Gaminu Vijayratna of the Private Bus Owners Association and Anjana Priyanjit of the All Island Private Bus Company Federation were brought to one platform today as they joined the primetime news bulletin on our sister channel Sirasa TV. Here is an excerpt from this heated debate.
අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන් ගාස්තු වැඩි කරා නම්. ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ. නෑ මම හිතන්නේ මේ ඉස්සලම කියන්න ඕනේ මේ බස් ගාස්තු ජාතික ගමනාගමන කොන්සර්න් සභාවට අයිතියක් තියෙනවා. බස් ගාස්තු සංශෝධනය අපි ඉල්ලන්නේ මොකද අයිතියක් නැති ආයතනයකින් ඉල්ලන්නේ. කවුද එන වැඩි කරන්නේ? වැඩි කරා අන්න එතන තමයි ගැටලුව තියෙන්නේ. අපි මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අධිකරණයෙන් කරුණු විමසලා තියෙනවා. මොකද බස් ගාස්තු ගියවර වැඩි කරේ කැබිනට් පත්‍රිකාවක කැබිනට් සංශෝධනයකින්. ඒ කැබිනට් සංශෝධනය නේ කැබිනට් පත්‍රිකාවක නිර්දේශයක් අනුව. ඒ අනුව අපි පැහැදිලිවම අධිකරණයට කරුණු ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තියෙනවා. බස් ගාස්තු පිළිබඳ ජාතික ගමනාගමන කොන්සර්න් කිසිම නෛතික අයිතියක් නැහැ කියලා. ඒක උදාහරණයක් නේ. අපි 2002 වර්ෂයේ සිට 2013 වර්ෂය දක්වාම බස් ගාස්තුව සංශෝධනය කළේ ජාතික ගමනාගමන කොමිෂන් සභාවත් එක්ක. මේ ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තියේ බොහොම පැහැදිලිව සඳහන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ජාතික ගමනාගමන කොමිෂන් සභාවේ අධ්‍යක්ෂ ජනරාල්වරයාගේ අනුමැතිය ඇතිව තමයි බස් ගාස්තු ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් නැහැ කියලා නෙමෙයි. නෑ ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තිය තියෙනවා. මේකෙන් තමයි බස් ගාස්තු වැඩි වෙන්නේ. අවුරුදු 11 බස් ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තියේ තියෙනම නම් ඇයි ගියවර කැබිනට් පත්‍රිකාවකින් බස් ගාස්තු වැඩි උනේ. බස් හිමියෝ විදිහට ගාස්තු වැඩි වෙන එක මේ වියදමත් එක්ක ගාස්තු වැඩි වෙන එක හොඳ නැද්ද බස්? බස් ගාස්තු වැඩි යුතු අපි ඒක කලට වෙලාවට බස් ගාස්තු වැඩි කරන්න අපිට හැකියාව තියෙනවා. කලට වේලාව තමයි ජූලි 1 වෙනිදා. ඒ කියන්නේ ගිය වර්ෂයේ ජූලි 1 වෙනිදා සිට මේ බස් ගාස්තු ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තියේ බොහෝම පැහැදිලිව සඳහන් වෙනවා වර්ෂයකට එක් වතාවක් විතරයි බස් ගාස්තු වැඩි කරන්න පුළුවන් ඩීසල් වැඩි නොවුනොත්. ඒ නිසා අපේ පිරිවැය වැඩි වුණා. ඒ නිසා මේ බස් ගාස්තු ඉල්ලනවා. මේ දේශපාලනේ නේද මේ? නෑ මෙතන කිසිදු දේශපාලනයක් නෑ. මේ කර්මාන්තය රැක ගැනීමට මොකද පහුගිය 2013 වසරේ තුන ගැටලුවක් සම්බන්ධව निराකරණය කරගන්න අපි අධිකරණයට ගියා. දැන්ට නඩු දෙකක් අධිකරණය අභියාචන අධිකරණයේ තියෙනවා. අපි පැහැදිලිවම කියනවා ගාස්තු ලබා ගැනීම සඳහා අධිකරණයට ආ යුතු නෑ. මොකද අපි දෙගොල්ලම තමයි සංගම් දෙකක් වශයෙන් ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තියට එකඟ වෙලා බස් ගාස්තු අවුරුදු 11ක් වැඩි අවුරුදු 11ක් තුන වැඩි කරගන්නේ.
Just a reminder, you can watch the full interview through our website www.newsfirst.lk and webtv.lk. Moving on, Muslims will begin the holy month of Ramadan from tonight. The Grand Mosque announced that the first moon of the month was sighted this evening from several areas across the island. Starting tomorrow morning, Muslims will begin a daily fast that will continue to the end of the month of Ramadan, where they will celebrate the Eid al-Fitr festival. And with that, we go in for a short commercial break.
In the East, Prabhakaran's sister speaks out. Drama behind Wateraka Vijitadeva's action. Read this Sunday's Ceylon.
Welcome back to the news. Trade unions charge that the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has failed to supply furnace oil for the generation of electricity. However, the Minister of Petroleum Industries, Anurupradarshan Ayapa, says that there is no such issue.
Furnace oil is important for companies that generate electricity. If they say it is not important, then it is a complete lie. It has been proven that the fuel refinery wasn't shut down for annual maintenance. If operations were suspended for the annual maintenance work, like the minister said, then there needs to be stocks of fuel. If it is accepted that there is no furnace oil, it means this is not a usual suspension of operations, but a sudden one. A high cost needs to be borne when moving fuel from one vessel to another. The rupture in a pipeline of a loading buoy did not happen suddenly. It happened in 2012. It was an old pipeline and not a new one. This issue has arisen because there is no new pipeline. Yet they can ask vessels to arrive here. The taxpayers' money is wasted on this. Eventually, CPC employees and the general public will have to pay for this.
අපේ රටේ තෙල් පිරිපහදුව දැන් දින 3ක් නතර වෙලා. හැබැයි බොර තෙල් මෙට්‍රික් ටොන් 80000ක් තියෙනවා.
The oil refinery has not been in operation for almost 3 days. There are around 80,000 metric tons of crude oil that needs to be refined. The subject minister says that the refinery was shut down due to maintenance activities. If the refinery is not in operation, how will the government meet the fuel demands of the country? Therefore, the government is compelled to import refined fuel from abroad. Importing refined fuel means that the oil commission mafia will have a good time.
පිරිපහදු කරපු තෙල් පිටරටින් ගෙන්නනවා කියන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන්ම තෙල් කොමිස් මාෆියාවට හොඳ සුබ කාලයක් උදා වෙනවා.
1500 low sulfur ඉන්ධන අපේ දැනටත්
A vessel with 1,500 metric tons low sulfur fuel has reached our shores. We can produce 600 tons of fuel from the refinery. Therefore, there is no such issue here. Though there is a lapse of 2 days, this will not be a long-term issue. At present, the sea area where the loading buoy is located is rough. We hope to transfer fuel from a larger vessel to a smaller vessel. This will be completed within a week.
A forum on government-owned enterprises, what to do, how to do it, took place in Colombo last evening. The forum mainly focused on the functions of state-owned enterprises, reforms, resource mobilization and diversification.
Reforms are necessary not only for the government sector but also for the private sector. And private sector enterprises, they do reforms and their director boards and their management, they spend more time to think about tomorrow, right, rather than running their businesses today. But most of our enterprises, my university included, we are running the scene, but we don't look at what is going to happen tomorrow. And I would say that actually the main problem of Sri Lanka is actually we had the lukewarm strategy. Not only during the last 10 years, but during the last 35 years. Starting from 77, we had the lukewarm strategy and sometimes ad hoc policy measures regarding this sector.
In the current context, security forces' involvement in running of certain hotels, a few restaurants, guest houses and certain other activities also provide a great opportunity for gradual demobilization or natural attrition of these soldiers. I mean, they're young, energetic people. They can be skilled. They can be given certain entrepreneurial skill using those opportunities. This is a great opportunity, is properly utilized. Why not use those opportunities to make sure that those who are going out after 12 years, 20 years and kind of service will be trained to get absorbed into the civilian business activities so that they will not be retired but with no other activity, productive activity.
A foundation stone was laid today for the Kalamatiya Fisheries Harbour in Hungama, bearing fruit to the revelation made by the Newsfirst Prime at the programme.
A cost of 900 million rupees has been estimated for construction of the Kalamatiya Fisheries Harbour, for which the foundation stone was laid today under the auspices of Rajitha Sinaratne, the Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resource Development. On the 16th of June last year on Newsfirst Gammadda, we highlighted the issues faced by fishermen in Kalamatiya in the absence of a proper fisheries harbour.
We have
allocated 900 billion rupees for the construction of a fisheries harbour in Kalamatiya. We have already created the design for this purpose. We will commence work in another 2 or 3 months. With the harbour comes the issue of the nets. Measures will be taken to address these issues.
The following views were expressed at today's event.
The Sirasa Media Institution held its gum at the program here. The Sirasa Media Institution brought together the fishermen from the area here and discussed their issues. They forced me to reveal the date on which the project will commence. I did not reveal it because the funds that will be allocated were not decided on, so I could not say when the project would commence. I recall the Sirasa Media Institution calling me and asking me if I would arrive for a gum at the program in Kalamatiya. I asked them who else would be there. They said that Minister Rajitha Sinaratne and Minister Mahinda Amaravira will be featured in the program. So I said yes. On that day, the fishermen were eager to know from the Minister of Fisheries as to when this project would commence. He did not reveal it. He said that there is a good chairperson at Sino and he will be ordered to commence work on this. We sometimes think whether we will lose our voter bases, no matter what we do as politicians. We wonder if we will receive votes in the next poll. We believe that this fisheries harbour will come to life. We were invited for the gum at the program organised by the Sirasa Media Institution to the Kalamatiya area. The plea back then was also for this fisheries harbour. This was a request made by both the males and females.
Fishermen also shared their views.
The Sirasa Media Institution arrived in the Kalamatiya area and hosted a gum at the program. That program was the backbone for the expeditious commencement of this project. The gum at the program has rendered us a very big service. As fishermen, we are extremely happy that the Kalamatiya area is receiving a harbour after the revelation on Sirasa.
Chief Minister Mohan Piris says that training to become law-abiding citizens must begin from the family. He made this statement at an event held in Margama yesterday.
My friends, it is through the smallest unit of society, which is the family, that we should begin to learn how to be law-abiding citizens. The youth of today should pass on their skills and cultural traits to their children. Through this, we can achieve the bright future that we hope to establish. Throughout our journey, we cannot let go of the religious values that we keep dear to our heart. My brothers and sisters, I would like to remind you all that those who let go of these values will be accountable for the gradual downfall of our entire government system, our nation and our country. The Chief Justice made this statement during the finals of the Best Youth Leader competition organised by Sri Lanka Youth. The title of Best Youth Leader was won by Harsha Pereira from Polgasovita.
A Pirit chanting ceremony was held to invoke blessings on the country at the Ambagamuwa Vijaya Bahu Piravena in Girigathena this morning.
The Jaya Pirtha, which was chanted during the event and was graced by opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, is due to be chanted across the country as well.
The country's economy is collapsing. We have begun to think if we will be able to survive. On the other hand, we think how we are to survive when the law and order in the country is weakening. If anything was to happen to us, will justice be meted out? When you look at the problems that have affected us internationally, as a country, we have begun to think if we can revive ourselves from it. Just recently, we saw the displeasure expressed by the international community towards us about our Buddhist culture because of the actions of a very few.
Staying in local news, a walk was organized in Colombo today to promote coexistence among communities. The walk was organized by the Sri Lanka Police and was titled Sahajivane Pragamana, or Walk of Coexistence.
The walk commenced this morning from the Golf-Face Green. Religious leaders, senior police officers and many others representing 20 different police areas in Colombo took part in this endeavour. The destination of the walk was the Gangarama Viharya in Hunupitiya.
Every religion teaches us peace, coexistence, kindness and metta. These qualities need to be enforced in a community more and more. That is what we have done today. Our expectation for the future is that everyone will strengthen the peace that we have achieved as children of one mother. May everyone receive the strength and courage for the development of our country and city.
When
we achieved independence in 1948, the then Sinhala leaders did not seek for a separate Sinhala nation. The Muslim leaders did not seek for a separate Muslim nation, and neither did the Tamil leaders. What we asked for was that everyone lives together as children of one mother. We do not want nationalism or racism or extremism. We are all Sri Lankans.
Everyone in the country needs to live together. We should not have issues with regard to religion, class or language. We are all human and not animals. All the Sinhalese, Tamils and Muslims must live together.
Everyone needs to act intelligently so that such a day does not arise again. This is what we as the police hope for.
Newsfirst is the most trusted news website in Sri Lanka, using a multi-platform responsive layout for a richer user experience. Our news reporting is verified, unbiased, balanced and fearless. We are Sri Lanka's most powerful social media network. Millions trust Newsfirst. That's why we are #1. Access our content on the web, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. Newsfirst, your life, our news.
The 25th edition of the Newsfirst U-Reporter workshop conducted by Newsfirst, which brings together U-Reporters from across the country, was held today.
A large group of U-Reporters attended the workshop, which was held at the auditorium of the Capital Maharaja Organisation's head office. The U-Reporters were educated on the fundamentals of news reporting and citizen journalism, as well as technology used in this process. Subsequent to the workshop, the U-Reporters were given a tour of the newsroom and Newsfirst studios.
I personally see this program as a good platform for us because we are just stepping into the media industry. We thank the Sirasa Media Network for giving us this very rare opportunity for such an experience. Most of the things that Newsfirst does is taken as an example by other media organizations. For that, we respect its standards.
2 children died while bathing in the Ragala Canal in the Senrathpura area in Noralia this morning. The children were students of the Senrathpura Vidyalaya and were studying in grade 8 and grade 11. They drowned when they went to bathe with 4 other friends in close proximity to the Sangili Alahathanna bridge. They died upon admission to the Noralia hospital. The students were identified as 16-year-old H.W. Gihan and 14-year-old Sumeda Dilshan. Our correspondent stated that the area in which this tragic incident occurred was used for sand mining by area residents. Welcome back to the news. Well, we are just minutes away from the first round of 16 match of the FIFA World Cup, where favourites Brazil will take on Chile, who have created many upsets in this year's tournament in a do-or-die contest. The 5-time champions are carrying the weighty expectations of an entire nation on their shoulders, and anything but victory would equal disaster and instantly suck the local enthusiasm out of the tournament. Brazil, who will be screamed on by legions of fans expecting nothing less than a 6th World Cup, knocked out Chile with relative ease at the same stage in their last two appearances during 2010 and 1998. They also broke Chilean hearts in 1962, beating them in the finals when the Rojas were hosting the tournament. Meanwhile, Chile are considered the dark horses in this tournament after beating holder Spain in the group stage and earned praise from Felipe Scolari for their attacking game. Chile's 2-0 defeat of reigning champion Spain sent shockwaves around the world and confirmed the strength of the South Americans' aggressive and pacey team. Chile coach Jorge Sampaoli said that they do not plan to man Neymar, but will seek to suffocate Brazil's leading man at every turn. After a successful group stage performance, the Chileans are hoping to make history and are eager to confirm their status as dark horses in the tournament with a major upset. Well, Katrina Chang filed the weather report for us earlier today.
A very good evening to you and welcome to Weather First, where we bring you the forecast for the next 24 hours. Starting off with the northern region of the island, which is the Jaffna area, we can expect mainly fair weather conditions to prevail within the next 24 hours. Moving down to the eastern part of the island, which is the Trincomalee area, we can expect several spells of showers to occur through the afternoon or latter part of the evening. And then moving on to the Batical area, same weather conditions are expected. Rainy weather conditions are expected with their temperatures ranging between 25 to 36 degrees Celsius. However, in the Anuradhapur area, mainly fair weather conditions are expected with their temperatures ranging between 25 to 34 degrees Celsius. Moving on to the central part of the island, which is the Kandy area, we can expect showers or thunder showers mainly in the afternoon or evening times, as well as the Ratnapur area. The weather conditions for Galle and Colombo, however, is also as the central part of the island. Mainly rainy weather conditions are expected to develop in the next 24 hours with temperatures ranging between 27 and 31 degrees Celsius in Colombo, and Galle, of course, 27 and 30 degrees Celsius. Let's now take a look at the weather forecast for the rest of the island.
No harm was the only thing marking a milestone in aviation as the E-Fan electronic plane conceived by aeronautic giant Airbus took to the skies. The two-seater aircraft, intended for short missions including pilot training exercises, is powered by two electric motors with a combined output of 60 kilowatts and zero emission. The plane is also very economical. An hour's flight costs a mere €2 compared to between 36 and 40 euros for a conventional fuel-powered plane. Airbus Director of Technology and Innovation John Botti said the company was in the process of developing a four-seater version. Pilot Didier Estienne was at the controls for the test flight, and he said that as far as handling was concerned, the plane was not like any other. Well, that's a wrap of Weekend Primetime News for tonight. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Irugal Bangara. Good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.